Hey guys, Alan here, 79 Woodworks, and this is the third installment to the blanket chest build. As you can see, I've already got it stained and everything. It is done, ready for me to give to the customer. Now, I didn't film any of the staining or anything, but I'm going to show you at least the process in which I did stain it. But before we get too in depth, please hit that like and subscribe button. Help this channel grow, and hit the bell notification to make sure that you are made aware of any new content that comes out. So without further ado, here we go. So the staining process is very simple. It's very easy. I use this Minwax dark walnut wood finish. Very good finish. I've used this on several projects. And then once you get it stained and once that dries good and you got it to the darkness or the color that you want, because some stains, depending on the color, you might have to put several coats on it to get the darkness that you want if you're going with a dark stain. If you want it to be lighter, obviously that's up to you. Actually, this here is only one coat of stain, so I didn't feel the need of doing multiple coats on it because I felt this was plenty dark and plenty dark enough for what the customer is wanting. Once it is dry, you want to put some type of clear over it, because if you don't put some type of form of protection, if you set something wet on it, like if you put a cup, like if you're doing a table or an end table or even a nightstand for that matter, it's going to show up the ring and it can mess your finish up. So you want to make sure that you use a really good high quality clear. For this particular one here, I used General Finishes high performance satin. I've used this on several projects, and this stuff works really good. For it, what I tend to do is I take a brush and I brush it on, make sure I get it even on there real good, a nice solid coat. Kind of let it sit for, I believe it's like a couple hours. Let it set on there, and then you kind of want to go over it with a light sanding. Preferably a high grit, maybe like a 300 grit, and just kind of lightly sand over it real good. You don't want to put a lot of pressure because you don't want to get down into your finish and mess it up. But once you've lightly sanded it real good, take a good clean cloth, wipe it down real good, and then go over it with another coat. It recommends using 3 coats, which is what I did on this. This has 3 coats on it. And then what I like to do after you get the 3rd coat and it's dried and cured overnight is take you some 4/0 steel wool and then get you some kind of paste wax. Now I've used this, it's Howard Citrus Shield. It's a natural paste wax, a natural color paste wax. You can see it right there. And what I do is I take the steel wool and I put some on it, and I just go over and just, put that on real good all over the product or the project. Let it dry for like, it says 3 to 5 minutes on this, but sometimes I might let it sit for like 10 minutes just to kind of let it get a little bit of a hardening on there. And then you want to take a clean cloth. I use microfiber, so microfiber towel will do it really good. And then just go over and buff it off. And basically what it does is it does 2 things for you. It gives an extra layer of protection over the wood. But the steel wool, what it helps to do, and you want to make sure you use the 4/0 steel wool, because it's a lot finer and not super abrasive to where you're getting into your finish. But it's abrasive just enough that it'll take like any imperfections or any like air bubbles in the clear finish, and it'll make it slick and smooth and give you a really nice look. So as far as the staining goes, now this is the way I do it. Now other people can do it different ways. There's different ways you can do it. You can brush it on. You can take those little. I would show you one, but I think I'm out of them. But you can take those foam brushes. It's got the foam tips on it. You can do that, or you can just take a rag. Now I like using the rag method because I like to wipe it on, and I'll demonstrate with you. I got a board here. Now I did this side as a test piece because I wanted to see, because this is the same type of wood that I used on this project, so I wanted to see what the finish was going to look like before I actually started it. And that's always a good thing to do. Get you a test piece, check it, see if it's going to be right, make sure that's what you want to put on there before you go any further, because it's a lot harder once you put it on a project. If you're not happy with it, it's a lot harder to take back off, and you're going to have to do a whole lot more sanding and everything, and it's just a mess. So always use you a test piece. But I'm going to use this reverse side here, and I'm going to show you how I do it. So this is the rag that I was using, and you can use any rag. It doesn't have to be anything specific. Just get you an old rag, preferably a clean one. But anyways, you just take your rag, you kind of dip it in there a little bit, kind of get it wet, and then you just take it and just rub it on there, and then just, you know, kind of buff it on real good. You know, and as you work down, it's going to get lighter and lighter, and then of course, depending on the, you know, how long of a piece you're doing, you might have to dip it again and whatnot. But you just kind of wipe it on, buff it on, and then there's your finish. So nothing really hard, super simple. Just take your time, just work it in real good. There's also, you can also buy, and I may try this on another project. I had a guy that I ran into one day that was a cabinet maker, and he told me to try this. But they make stain in spray cans, aerosol spray cans, and you can spray it on. And he recommended trying that. If you've got an air compressor with a paint gun, you can put stain in those. I'm not sure if you have to use a particular type of gun for that, but I know, especially like cabinet makers and stuff, that's what they use. They'll put the stain in the guns and they'll spray them on, and then once the stain dries, they'll do the same thing with the clear, whatever clear they're putting on, they'll just spray it on the project. But I am tempted. I'm gonna try the spray can method, the aerosol, and see how that works. He says it works really good because it doesn't necessarily penetrate the wood as much when you spray it, as opposed to wiping it on like I showed with the rag. Which, I mean, I don't guess that really matters. The only way I can see where that would be a benefit is if you did mess it up and you needed to sand it back off, you wouldn't have to sand as much. So I guess that would be a plus. And plus, it may give a better uniformed look also. So, but anyways, but that's the process in which I did on finishing it. In a minute, I'll turn the camera around and I'll show you the cabinet itself, and let you look inside of it and everything that we did, or everything I did on it, and let you see the finished project. Before I go any further, I would like to make a shout out. Now, I bought this with my own money. I'm not sponsored by this at all, but it's something I purchased that I wanted to just share with you real quick. But if any of you check out 731 Woodworks, Matt Outlaw, very good guy. I haven't met him personally, but I've watched a ton of his videos. He does a weekly live stream. It's called Live Edge on Tuesdays. If you're a member of his channel, I highly recommend checking that out. He does phenomenal stuff, does a lot of tool reviews, does a lot of stuff. He's got plans and things on his website. But him and his wife, they have started a tool company. It's called Faith Valley Tools, and they've got a few things on there. They don't have a lot on there yet. They're just getting started. They just started maybe about a month ago. But I feel like it's really gonna be good. But what I ordered from him, he has a 3.5-inch precision wood square, and it comes boxed like this, the Faith Valley Tools logo. And if you are in the market, I know a lot of woodworkers, if you watch a lot of other channels, they use the Woodpecker brand. And I'm sure woodpeckers are a phenomenal tool. I don't have any of those myself. They are super expensive. They are extremely expensive. I'm sure they are great and they are accurate, but you know, if you're on a budget or you just don't feel like you need to spend that much money, but you do want a highly accurate and good quality tool, then there are a lot better alternatives out there. And with that, like I said, on theirs, they have the 3.5-inch wood square, precision wood square. And this is it right here. And it's got the Faith Valley Tools logo etched on it. All the numbers are etched, all the markings. It's got where you can put it on the edge of your wood to do your squares. It's got it to where you can do your angles. All your angles are on here. It's even got measurements here up to your 3.5 through 3.5 points right here. You can use this as a depth gauge to set up like your saw blades or your router bits to whatever height you want. You can use this for that. Very great. It's made out of aluminum. Very durable, high quality. It's a good thick size. So you don't have to worry about dropping it and possibly breaking it. Very happy with this. I think it's around $45 on the website, and then it's like I think like $12, $12.80, something like that for the shipping. But if you buy $100 or more on the website, if I'm not mistaken, I believe you get free shipping. This was the only thing I bought, so I had to pay shipping. I think it was around $52 and some change, something like that. But very well worth it, good quality. So there are better alternatives, cheaper alternatives to get a good quality tool out there. Plus, if you can see, it's got these little scribe holes for every 1/16 of an inch. So if you're having to scribe down some wood or whatever and you need to be an exact measurement, you got the holes here for those measurements, and you put your mechanical pencil or whatever you use to scribe with, it'll fit in these holes and just run your lines right across. So very good feature, very good. Look them up. It's faithvalleytools.com. Highly recommended. All right. Well, without further ado, I will turn the camera around and I will show y'all the final product of the blanket chest. All right, here we go. So here is the final thing. Long view here. So I got the handles on right here. They are solid. I got a block on the inside that's mounted on the back side of this, because if you remember, we used 1/2 inch for the box. So the screws that comes with these handles are a little longer than 1/2 inch. So I had to put some type of bracing on the back side of this to accommodate that. But and then got the handle here on this side. And then the breadboard top. Turned out very nice. And then for the back side, I used a black piano hinge that matches the handles. So there's the block right here that's on the opposite side of the handles for bracing. All I did with those is I put some wood glue and just brad nailed them in, and they are solid as a rock. For the bottom, it's a piece of 1/4-inch hardboard that I cut to fit inside and stained and put clear on it to match the rest of the blanket chest. And then, of course, as you can see, the piano hinge runs along the middle part of the blanket chest. Got the support braces here for the top. Now on the support braces, I had to round off the edges on both sides because when I went to close it, they were touching and wasn't allowing the top to close all the way. So I had to round off those. If you can see, they got a little round in it. That way it closes all the way properly. But overall, it turned out real good. Got the trim working here. That's just 1/4 round cut with 45-degree angles in here, and it gives it a nice finished fancy look, kind of a 3-dimensional, and I think it turned out real good. The wood that was on the type of wood that the 1/2-inch plywood was, gave it a real, once I stained it and everything, it gave it a real nice, just overall antique vibe. I think it turned out really good, guys. Also, if you can see, you may not be able to see, but on the bottom side of the legs, I've got just clear rubber stickies that go underneath there. That way, if you're putting it on like a hardwood floor or something, it won't scratch or rub up against the floor. But overall, I think it turned out really good. So I think the customer was going to be very pleased with this. I appreciate y'all being with me and kind of going through the process of building this. I apologize that I wasn't able to film everything, but it's just the way things are with life. I just don't have the time a lot of times to do filming. Filming takes a long time to do, especially if you're trying to film each individual thing. I still work full time, so I have to do this on the side. But as my channel grows and I'm able to get more stuff going, then I'll try my best to bring you more better content. And the only way my channel is going to grow is for y'all to like and subscribe, and just keep staying tuned. I appreciate it, guys. And like I said on the beginning of the video, please hit the like and subscribe button. Hit the bell notification. That way you can get notified when new content comes out. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Y'all take care.